Hey, so, tonight I want to share something personal. I've been holding this story inside for months now, and I think it's finally time to let it out. This isn't easy to talk about. It's about the two people I trusted most in the world, my husband of 8 years and my best friend since college. The kind of betrayal that doesn't just break your heart once, but over and over again, every time you remember a moment you thought was real. If you've ever felt like your entire reality was a lie, like everyone around you was playing a part in a script you didn't know existed, then maybe this will resonate with you. Maybe you'll see yourself in my story, or maybe you'll just understand why some nights I still can't sleep, replaying every conversation, every laugh, every time the three of us were in the same room together. If this kind of storytelling speaks to you, feel free to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your thoughts or your own story. Now, die in the lights or put on your headphones and let's begin. It started like any normal week. Monday morning, coffee brewing, my husband Jake kissing me goodbye before heading to work. I remember thinking how lucky I was. 8 years married, and we still had our routines, our little moments. Had always squeezed my hand twice before letting go our silent "I love you." That morning, he did it. I felt it. I believed it. I worked from home most days, running a small graphic design business from our spare bedroom. Jake was in finance, long hours, high stress, but he always made time for us. Or so I thought. That's the thing about betrayal, it rewrites your entire history. Every memory becomes suspect, every kindness, every touch, every whispered "I love you" in the dark. Were any of them real? That Monday, I texted my best friend Sarah. We'd known each other since sophomore year of college, been through everything together. Breakups, family drama, my wedding. She was my maid of honor. She knew me better than anyone, or I thought she did. Coffee tomorrow? I texted. Can't, babe. Swamped at work. Rain check? Normal. Friendly. The kind of message we'd exchanged 1,000 times. I didn't think twice about it. Tuesday came and went. Jake worked late. Had been doing that more often lately, but I understood. His company was going through a merger. Everyone was stressed. When he finally came home around 10, he looked exhausted. I heated up dinner for Hyan, sat with Hyan while he ate, asked about his day. He gave me the usual rundown: meetings, deadlines, office politics. I listened, made sympathetic sounds, rubbed his shoulders when he finished eating. "You're the best," he said, turning to kiss my forehead. "I don't know what to do without you." I smiled. I felt loved. God, I was so stupid. Wednesday, Sarah texted me first. "Hey, sorry I've been MIA. Work's been insane. Miss you though." "Miss you too," I replied. "Dinner Friday? Just us? Perfect. We'll come to you. We'll bring wine." I felt better after that exchange. Sarah and I had been seeing less of each other over the past few months, but had chalked it up to life getting busy. She had recently gotten a promotion at her marketing firm, was traveling more, working longer hours. I was proud of her. I told Jake how proud I was, how Sarah had worked so hard for this. Had Aramid, said she deserved it, said we should all celebrate together. Sometane. The three of us used to hang out all the time. Game nights, dinners, movie marathons. Sarah and Jake got along remeet, which I loved. I never had to worry about my husband and best friend not liking each other. Never had to navigate that awkward dynamic some couples deal with. They were comfortable around each other, made jokes, had their own little rapport. I thought it was perfect. Thursday evening. I was working late on a client project when Jake came home early. Unusual, but not alarming. He seemed distracted, kept checking his phone. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just some work stuff. They're changing the presentation format last minute. Do you need to go back to the office?" No, I can handle it from here." He disappeared into his study. I heard Hyan on the phone a few times, his voice low and urgent. "Work stress," I told myself. "The merger. It's making everyone crazy." Around 9, I brought Hyan a cup of tea. He was staring at his laptop, but the screen showed his email inbox, not a presentation. He quickly switched tabs when I walked in, but I saw it. Just for a second, just long enough. "Thanks, babe," he said, taking the tea without looking at me. I stood there for a moment, something nagging at the back of my mind, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It was just a feeling, shapeless and uncertain. "You sure you're okay?" I asked again. "I'm fine, just tired." I left Hyan alone. I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd pushed. I wish I'd demanded to know what was wrong. I wish I'd remab that laptop and read every single email. But I didn't. I trusted Hyen. Friday arrived. Sarah was supposed to come over at 7. I spent the afternoon cleaning, prepping snacks, picking out a playlist. I was excited. It had been weeks since Wed had a proper girls' night, and I missed her. I missed my friend. At 6:30, she texted. So sorry, something came up. Can we reschedule? I stared at the message, disappointment sinking through me like a stone. This was the third tie-in in a month Shed canceled last minute. Is everything all right? I texted back. Yeah, just work stuff. You know how it is. I didn't know how it was, but something felt off. I couldn't explain it, but something in my chest tightened. Jake came home at 7. I told Hyen Sarah had canceled. That sucks, he said. Want to order takeout and watch a movie? Sure. We did. We sat on the couch together, his arm around me, my head on his shoulder. We watched some action movie I can't even remember now. Halfway through, his phone buzzed. He glanced at it, then stood up. Work call. Give me a minute. He went into the bedroom, closed the door. I could hear his voice, muffled but alienated. He was talking to someone, laughing even. A work call that made Hyen laugh. At 8:30 on a Friday night. I paused the movie and waited. He came back 10 minutes later, looking flushed. Everything okay? I asked. Third tie-in this week, IDDE asked Hyen that question. Yeah, just a colleague freaking out about the merger stuff. Which colleague? He hesitated, just a fraction of a second, but I saw it. Tom, from accounting. I nodded. I didn't know a Tom in accounting. Jake had never mentioned a Tom. But I nodded, because I trusted Hyen. Because 8 years of marriage meant something. Because you don't just suddenly stop trusting your husband because of a feeling. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay next to Jake, listening to his breathing, and something in me whispered that things were wrong. I told that voice to shut up. I told myself I was being paranoid, that stress at work was affecting both Jake and Sarah, that I was yin-imagining problems where there were none. But the voice didn't shut up. Saturday, I suggested we go out for breakfast. Jake said he had to go into the office for a few hours. On Saturday, the merger, babe. I told you, it's crazy right now. He left at 9. I tried to work on my designs, but I couldn't focus. Instead, I found myself scrolling through Jake's social media, looking for, I don't know what. Evidence? Of what? He barely posted anything, just occasional photos of us, of his morning coffee, of the sunset from our balcony. I checked Sarah's Instagram. Shed posted a story the night before, a glass of wine, a blurry background that looked like a restaurant. Needed this, the caption said, with a wine emoji. Shed told me she had work stuff. Shed canceled our plans because of work. But Shed gone out, maybe after work? Maybe it was a work dinner? I was rasping at explanations, trying to make the pieces fit. I texted her. Hope work crisis resolved itself. Saw your story. Glad you got some wine tying in. She replied an hour later. Yeah. Just needed to decompress. Sorry again about last night. I wanted to ask who she was with. I wanted to ask where Shed gone. But I didn't. Because that would be weird. Because friends don't interrogate each other. Because I was supposed to trust her. Jake came home at 3, looking tired but satisfied. Got everything sorted, he said. Now I'm all yours for the rest of the weekend. We went to dinner that night. To our favorite Italian place. We sat across from each other, shared a bottle of red wine, talked about everything and nothing. He held my hand across the table, told me I looked beautiful, made me laugh with a stupid joke about the waiter's mustache. I wanted to believe everything was fine. I wanted that more than anything. Sunday, we slept in, made pancakes, watched TV on the couch. Normal, domestic, comfortable. Jake was attentive, affectionate. He kept touching me, my hair, my hand, my knee, like he was trying to prove something. Or maybe I was just yin-imagining that too. In the afternoon, my phone rang. Sarah. Hey, you, she said, her voice bright and cheerful. I'm so sorry about Friday. Let me make it up to you. Lunch this week? Sure, I said, trying to match her energy. When? Wednesday? They'll come to your place. We can order in. Make it easy. Perfect. Love you, babe. Love you too. I hung up feeling both better and worse. Better because Sarah was making an effort. Worse because I'd even doubted her in the first place. What was wrong with me? Why was I suddenly suspicious of everyone I loved? Jake looked up from his phone. That Sarah? Yeah. We're having lunch Wednesday. Nice. Tell her I said hi. I will. He went back to his phone, scrolling through something. I watched Hyan, studied his face. He looked normal, relaxed, content, not like a man keeping secrets. But that voice in my head wouldn't shut up. Monday morning, Jake's phone woke us both up at 5 a.m. He remapped it quickly, silenced it, then lay there staring at the ceiling. What was that? I mumbled, still half asleep. Nothing. Go back to sleep. But I was awake now. I watched Hyan in the dian light filtering through our curtains. He looked tense, his jaw tight. Jake? It's fine. Just a notification. He got up, went to the bathroom. I heard the shower start. At 5 in the morning, he never showered before 6. I picked up my own phone, opened it to check the tie-in. As I did, a text came through from Sarah. Can't do Wednesday after all. So sorry. This week is impossible. I stared at it. Shed just confirmed yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. And now she was canceling again. I didn't reply. I lay there, listening to the shower, feeling something cold settle in my stomach. Jake came out dressed for work, even though it wasn't even 6 yet. You're leaving early? I asked. Yeah. Want to get a jump on the day. He kissed me goodbye, did the 2-squeeze thing with my hand. I didn't squeeze back. He didn't notice. After he left, I lay in bed for another hour, unable to fall back asleep. That cold feeling had spread through my entire body. I kept replaying the past few weeks in my mind. Jake working late. Sarah canceling plans. Jake on mysterious phone calls. Sarah's wine night, when Shed's supposedly been too busy for me. I got up, made coffee, tried to work. But I couldn't focus. Instead, I found myself going into Jake's study. His laptop was still on the desk, closed. I opened it. It was password protected. Of course it was. It had always been, for work security, but had never felt the urge to try to get into it before. I closed it, feeling guilty. What was I doing? Snooping on my husband like some paranoid wife in a bad TV movie. But the feeling wouldn't go away. I texted Sarah. No worries about Wednesday. Everything okay? Yeah, just drowning in work. Miss you though. Miss you too. 3 words. They felt hollow. The week crawled by. Jake continued working late. Continued taking mysterious phone calls in other rooms. Continued being distracted and distant even when he was physically present. I tried to talk to Hyan about it Tuesday night. You seem stressed, I said. We were in bed, both reading. Just work stuff. Is it just work? He looked at me then. Really looked at me. What else would it be? I don't know. You just seem different lately. Different how? I couldn't put it into words. How do you tell your husband he feels like a stranger? How do you say that his touches feel performative? His kisses feel empty. His I love yous sound like lines from a script he's tired of performing. Never mind, I said. I'm probably just stressed too. He kissed my temple. We should plan a vacation. Get away somewhere. Just the 2 of us. That sounds nice. But even as he said it, I knew it wouldn't happen. It felt like a promise made to placate me, not a real plan. Wednesday came and went. No Sarah. I worked, went for a walk, made dinner, ate it alone. Jake texted around 7. Working late again. So sorry. Order yourself something nice. I didn't order anything. I wasn't hungry. Instead, I did something I'm not proud of. I opened Jake's laptop again. I tried his birthday as the password. Wrong. I tried my birthday. Wrong. I tried our anniversary. Wrong. Then, on impulse, I tried Sarah's birthday. It worked. The screen lit up, showing his desktop. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. I was violating his privacy. I was being that wife, that suspicious, crazy wife. But I couldn't stop. I opened his email. Work emails. Mostly. Boring stuff about the merger, about presentations and meetings and quarterly reports. I scrolled back, looking for, I didn't know what. Then I saw it. An email from 3 weeks ago, sent at 11 p.m. The subject line, tonight. The sender, sarahgrant@gmailchim.com. My hands started shaking. I clicked on it. Tonight was perfect. I hate lying to her, but I can't stop. When can I see you again? I stared at the screen. Read the words again. Again. No, this couldn't be real. This had to be some kind of mistake, some kind of joke, some other Sarah. But it wasn't, because Jake's response was right there below it. Tomorrow night. She thinks him working late. He'll tell her it's the merger. I stood up so fast the chair fell over. My vision was blurring, my breath coming in short gasps. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. I scrolled up, looking for more. And I found them. So many emails. Going back months. 6 months. To be exact. September. Around the time Sarah got her promotion. Around the time Jake started working late more often. Around the time the merger was announced. There was no merger. Or maybe there was, but that wasn't why he was working late. He was with Sarah. My husband was having an affair with my best friend. I sank to the floor, the laptop still open on the desk above me. I couldn't breathe. Literally couldn't get air into my lungs. I was making sounds. Horrible gasping sounds. But no air was coming in. When I could finally breathe again, I was crying. Huge, ugly sobs that shook my entire body. I cried there on the floor of my husband's study for I don't know how long. Long enough that when I finally stopped, it was dark outside and my face was swollen and my throat was raw. I got up, closed the laptop, walked out of the study, went to the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water, drank it, poured another one. My phone was on the counter. I picked it up, opened my text with Sarah. Her last message. Miss you though. I typed, do you? Then deleted it. Then typed it again. Then deleted it again. Instead, I opened Jake's contact. Started typing. I know. Deleted it. I couldn't do this over text. I couldn't do this at all. I couldn't process this. My husband and my best friend. The two people I loved most. The two people I trusted completely. They'd been lying to me for 6 months. 6 months of secret meetings, secret calls, secret touches. 6 months of coming home to me, kissing me, holding me, all while thinking about her. 6 months of her texting me, miss you babe, of her canceling plans, of her lying to my face about work and stress and being too busy. How many tie-ins had they laughed about me? How many tie-ins had they been together when I thought they were somewhere else? How many tie-ins had I been in the same room with both of them, oblivious, while they exchanged secret looks, secret smiles, game nights, movie marathons, dinners where it sat between them, holding Jake's hand with one of mine and Sarah's with the other, feeling so lucky to have them both in my life. I was going to be sick. I made it to the bathroom just in time, threw up everything in my stomach, which wasn't much. Then I sat on the bathroom floor, my back against the wall, and stared at nothing. At some point, I heard the front door open. Jake was home. Babe, he called out. You here? I couldn't move. Couldn't speak. He found me in the bathroom. Jesus, are you okay? Are you sick? He knelt down beside me, tried to touch my forehead. I flinched away from Hyan. Don't touch me. What's wrong? Should I call a doctor? I laughed. It came out sounding insane, even to my own ears. A doctor? Right. That's what I need. You're scaring me. What's going on? I looked at Hyan. Really looked at Hyan. At his face, his lying face, his face that had told me he loved me 1,000 tie-ins while he was fucking my best friend. How long? I asked. He froze. I saw it happen, saw the exact moment he understood that I knew. How long? I asked again, my voice deadly calm now. I don't. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare lie to me again. He sat back on his heels, his face going pale. 6 months, he whispered. It's been 6 months. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I didn't do any of the dramatic things you see in movies. I just sat there on that bathroom floor and asked Hyan to tell me everything. And he did. It started at my birthday party in September. Sarah had helped Hyan plan it, had come over early to set up decorations. It'd been out getting my nails done, taking my tie-in, enjoying the rare moment of self-care. While I was gone, they'd been alone in our apartment, our home. They'd been hanging streamers, he said. Their hands had touched reaching for the same piece of tape. They'd laughed. And then, he didn't know how, they were kissing. It just happened, he said, not meeting my eyes. We didn't plan it. We both felt terrible about it immediately. But not terrible enough to stop, I said. He was quiet. Not terrible enough to tell me. Not terrible enough to end it right there. No, he whispered. They tried to stay away from each other, he said. For a few weeks after my birthday party, they'd barely talked. But then Sarah had texted Hyan one night, saying she couldn't stop thinking about Hyan, and had gone to her apartment, and it had happened again. After that, they'd stopped trying to resist. They'd started seeing each other regularly, twice a week, Sometians 3 tie-ins. Her apartment, hotel rooms, once even in his car in a parking garage. All those late nights at work. All those mysterious phone calls. All of Sarah's cancellations and work stress and being too busy. Did you ever work late? I asked. Was there ever actually a merger? The merger is real, he said. I did work late, Somatians. Just not as often as I said. And Sarah's promotion? Also real. But it didn't make her as busy as she claimed. I nodded, taking it all in, filing it away. My brain felt strange, like I was watching this conversation happen to someone else. Do you love her? I asked. He didn't answer immediately. That was answer enough. I don't know, he finally said. I love you. I've always loved you. But Sarah, it's different with her. It's complicated. It's not complicated. You cheated on me with my best friend for 6 months. That's not complicated. That's just cruel. I never wanted to hurt you. I laughed again, that same insane sound. You never wanted to hurt me, but you did it anyway. Over and over and over. Every tie-in you lied to me. Every tie-in you touched me after being with her. Every tie-in you looked me in the eye and said you loved me while you were planning your next meeting with her. I'm sorry, he said, and he was crying now. Actual tears running down his face. I'm so sorry. They'll end it. Right now. They'll call her and end it. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. Please. I don't want to lose you. You already lost me, I said. You lost me 6 months ago. You just didn't bother to tell me? I stood up, my legs shaky. He reached for me, but I stepped back. Don't, I said. Don't ever touch me again. I walked out of the bathroom, out of the house. I got in my car and drove. I didn't know where I was going. I just drove, through the dark streets, while my mind replayed everything, every moment with them. Every tie-in ID felt lucky to have such a solid marriage, such a devoted best friend. I ended up at a 24-hour diner on the edge of town, sat in a booth in the back, ordered coffee I didn't drink. The waitress kept refilling it anyway, giving me concerned looks but not saying anything. I pulled out my phone, looked at Sarah's contact. My best friend, my maid of honor. The person who'd held my hand through my grandmother's funeral. The person who'd helped me pick out my wedding dress. The person who'd told me 1,000 times how lucky I was to have found Jake, how perfect we were together. I called her. She answered on the second ring. Hey, I was just thinking about you. How? He told me everything. Silence. Sarah? Her voice was shaking. I can explain. Explain what? Explain how you've been fucking my husband for 6 months? Explain how you've been lying to my face every single day? Explain how you canceled our plans so you could be with Hyen instead? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Please, enlighten me. I'm dying to know what possible explanation makes this okay. I never meant for it to happen, she said. And she was crying now too. Good. I hoped it hurt. I hoped it destroyed her. We connected. I tried to fight it. I really did. But I've never felt this way about anyone. You're in love with Hyen. Yes. Her voice was barely a whisper. I'm sorry, but yes, and he's in love with you. I don't know. We haven't really talked about it. We've just been trying to figure out what to do. I repeated. Like I'm a problem to be solved. Like my entire life isn't falling apart because of you two. I never wanted to hurt you. You're my best friend. No, I said, my voice cold and clear. I was your best friend. Was. Past tense. You are nothing to me now. Please, she sobbed. Please, let's talk about this. Let me explain in person. I hung up, blocked her number, blocked her on every social media platform, deleted every photo of us together from my phone, my computer, my cloud storage, threw her name into the void and let it disappear. I sat in that diner until the sun came up, watched the sky turn from black to ramé to pink to blue, watched the world wake up while mine fell apart. Around 7 a.m., my phone rang. My mom. I'd forgotten it was Thursday. She always called on Thursday mornings. Hi, sweetie. How are you? I opened my mouth to say fine, to give her the automatic response. But what came out instead was, Jake's been cheating on me with Sarah. And then I was sobbing again, right there in the diner, with the morning commuters giving me awkward glances as they picked up their coffee orders. My mom was silent for a moment. Then, I'm coming to get you. Where are you? I told her. She was there in 20 minutes. She walked into the diner, saw me in the back booth. and without a word wrapped me in her arms. I cried into her shoulder like I was 5 years old again. She drove me to her house. My dad took one look at me, and his face went hard. "He'll kill Hyen," he said simply. "Martin," my mom said, not helpful. "I'm serious. He'll kill Hyen and hide the body where no one will ever find it." Despite everything, I almost smiled. My dad, who'd never hurt a fly, who cried during insurance commercials, threatening murder on my behalf. I stayed at my parents' house for 3 days. Didn't answer Jake's calls or texts. There were a lot of them. Apologies, explanations, begging. I deleted them all without reading most of them. On day 2, my mom asked if I wanted to talk about it. I told her everything, every detail. She listened without interrupting, holding my hand the entire tie-in. When I finished, she said, "What do you want to do?" "I want to go back in tie-in and never meet either of them." "Can't do that." "What else?" "I want a divorce." "Okay, we'll call our lawyer." "I want to never see Sarah again for the rest of my life." "That can be arranged." "I want to understand why. Why they did this. Why I wasn't enough." "Oh, baby." She pulled me close. "This isn't about you not being enough. This is about them being broken. Both of them." But I didn't feel like it was about them. It felt like it was about me. About something I'd done wrong. Something I'd failed to be. Something I'd lacked that had driven them into each other's arms. On day 3, I went back to the apartment. Jake wasn't there. I'd told Hyen through my mom that I needed space, that he should stay somewhere else while I figured things out. The apartment felt different. Wrong. Contaminated. I walked through it looking at everything with new eyes. The couch where we'd sat together, where maybe Sarah had sat with Hyen when I wasn't home. The bed where we'd slept, where Id laid next to Hyen while he thought about her. The kitchen where Id made Hyen coffee every morning, where Hed kissed me goodbye before going to work. Or to her. I started packing. My clothes first. Then my toiletries. Then my books, my photos, my diploma from college, my grandmother's jewelry. Everything that was mine, that had been mine before Jake, that would be mine after Hyen. It took me 2 days to pack up my entire life. On the 3rd day, Jake came back. I heard his key in the lock, and my whole body went rigid. I wasn't ready to see Hyen. I didn't know if I'd ever be ready. He walked in and stopped short when he saw the boxes stacked in the living room. "You're leaving?" "Yes." "Where will you go?" "That's not your concern anymore." He looked broken. Good. He deserved to be broken. "Can we please talk about this?" he asked. "Really talk. Not just, 'I love you. I made a terrible mistake. I'll do anything to fix this.'" "You can't fix this," I said. "This isn't a broken plate or a mistake on our taxes. This is 6 months of systematic lying and betrayal. You can't fix that. People get through affairs all the time. We can go to counseling. We can rebuild trust." "I don't want to rebuild trust with you. I don't want to spend the next, however many years wondering where you are, who you're with, whether you're telling the truth. I don't want to become the kind of wife who checks her husband's phone and email. I don't want to live like that." "So that's it? 8 years of marriage, just over? You ended it 6 months ago. You just didn't tell me." He sat down on the couch, put his head in his hands. "I ended it with Sarah 2 days ago. I told her we couldn't see each other anymore, that I wanted to save our marriage. I felt nothing. No relief. No satisfaction. Nothing." "What did she say?" I asked, surprising myself. "She was upset. She asked me to give her a chance, to see if what we had was real. I told her no. I told her I choose you." "How noble of you. Except I don't choose you. Not anymore. Please." He looked up at me, his eyes red. "Please don't do this. I know I fucked up. I know I hurt you in the worst way possible. But I love you. I've always loved you. This thing with Sarah, it was, I don't know what it was. A mistake. A moment of weakness that turned into something I couldn't control. You could have controlled it. Every single tie-in you met with her, you made a choice. Every tie-in you lied to me, you made a choice. Every tie-in you came home and touched me, kissed me, made love to me after being with her, you made a choice. You made hundreds of choices, and not one of them was to be honest with me or to respect our marriage." He didn't have an answer for that. "I want a divorce," I said. "I want the apartment. I want you to move out by the end of the month. My lawyer will send you the papers." "You already got a lawyer?" "My parents' lawyer." "Yes. God." He laughed bitterly. "You've really thought this through." "I've had a lot of time to think. And there's nothing I can say that will change your mind? I thought about that. Thought about the life we'd built together, the memories we'd made, the future we'd planned. Thought about the man I'd married, who I thought I'd known completely, who'd turned out to be a stranger. No, I said, there's nothing. He nodded slowly, accepting it. Then he stood up, walked to the door, turned back. For what it's worth, he said, I really am sorry. I never wanted this to happen. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. And now we both have to live with that. He left. I stood there in our living room, my living room now surrounded by boxes, and felt nothing. I thought I'd feel relieved, or sad, or angry. But there was just this empty space where my marriage used to be. 2 weeks later, I ran into Sarah. I didn't plan it. I was at the Ramasri store, trying to remember how to function like a normal human being, when I turned the corner, and there she was in the pasta aisle. We both froze. She looked terrible. Her hair was unwashed, pulled back in a messy bun. No makeup, sweatpants, and an old college hoodie. She looked like I felt. I'm sorry, she said immediately. Leave. I didn't know you'd be here. It's a public place, I said. You have as much right to buy pasta as I do. Still, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Too late for that. She flinched. Good. We stood there in awkward silence. Around us, other shoppers pushed their carts, picked up sauce jars, lived their normal lives. He ended it, Sarah said suddenly. Jake. He said he couldn't do it anymore, couldn't keep lying to you. I know. He told me. Did he tell you he said he loved me? I felt something crack inside me. No. He left that part out. He did. The last tie-in we were together. He said he loved me, but he couldn't leave you. That it wasn't fair to anyone. And you're telling me this why? You want a medal for sleeping with my husband? You want me to thank you for destroying my marriage? No. She was crying now. I'm telling you because I need you to know it was real. What we had, it wasn't just an affair. It wasn't just sex. We connected. We understood each other in a way. In a way he never understood me? Is that what you were going to say? That's not what I meant. What did you mean then? Please, explain to me how your affair with my husband was actually beautiful and meaningful. I'm dying to hear this. I meant that I fell in love with Hyan. Really fell in love. For the first time in my life. And I know that makes me a terrible person. I know I betrayed you in the worst way possible. But I can't pretend it didn't mean anything. I can't pretend I don't still love Hyan. I looked at her. At my former best friend. At the person who'd known all my secrets, all my fears, all my dreams. At the person who'd helped me through bad breakups and celebrated my wedding and held my hand when life got hard. I hope it was worth it, I said. I hope whatever you felt with Hyan was worth losing everything else. Because you lost me. You lost my trust, my friendship, my respect. You lost the person who would have done anything for you. And for what? For a man who chose his wife over you in the end? For a few stolen hours in hotel rooms? For something that was always going to end in pain? I know, she whispered. I know what I lost. I think about it every day. Good. You should. You should think about it every single day for the rest of your life. You should lie awake at night remembering what you had and what you threw away. Because I do. I lie awake every night, replaying every moment of our friendship and wondering how much of it was real. Wondering if you ever actually loved me or if I was just convenient. Wondering if you were laughing at me behind my back the whole time. I never laughed at you. I loved you. I still love you. You don't get to love me anymore. You don't get to feel anything for me. You're nothing to me now. I walked away. Left my empty cart in the middle of the aisle. Left the store. Left her standing there crying in front of the pen and rigatoni. I sat in my car in the parking lot and screamed. Just screamed and screamed until my voice was hoarse and my throat hurt and I couldn't make sound anymore. Then I drove to my parents' house and told my mom I'd seen Sarah. How do you feel? She asked. I don't know. Anrami. Sad. Empty. All of it. None of it. That's normal. Is it? Is any of this normal? Grief isn't normal. It's just necessary. I don't want to relieve. I don't want to feel anything. I just want to go back to before, when I was happy and stupid and didn't know. I know, baby, but you can't. She was right. I couldn't go back. I could only go forward, into a future I'd never planned for, never wanted, never imagined I'd have to face. It's been 4 months since I found out. 4 months since my life imploded. The divorce is almost finalized. Jake moved out of the apartment like I asked. I haven't seen or spoken to Sarah since that day in the Ramasserie store. I wish I could say I'm healed. I wish I could say I've moved on, found closure, discovered some profound truth about life and love and betrayal. But I haven't. Some days I wake up, and for a split second I forget what happened, and then it all comes crashing back, and I have to learn to breathe through it all over again. I've been going to therapy. Every Tuesday at 3 p.m., I sit in Dr. Chen's office and try to make sense of it all. She doesn't give me easy answers. She doesn't tell me it wasn't my fault, or that I did nothing wrong, or that I'll find someone better. She just listens and asks questions and helps me sit with the feelings instead of running from them. You're removing two relationships at once, she told me in our second session. Your marriage and your friendship. That's not something most people have to process. Lucky me, I said. It's okay to be angry, she said. It's okay to feel betrayed and hurt and devastated. Those are all valid feelings. But anger is exhausting. I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of replaying everything in my mind, looking for signs I missed, moments where I could have known if I'd just been paying attention. My mom says I need to forgive them, not for their sake, but for mine. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, she said, but I'm not ready to forgive. Maybe I never will be. I've started dating again, sort of. My friend from college, Emma, set me up with her coworker. We went to dinner last week. He was nice, normal. He made me laugh once, but the whole time I was sitting there, I was thinking about Jake, about how Jake used to make me laugh, about how I thought Jake was nice and normal too, and look how that turned out. I didn't call Hyan back when he texted asking for a second date. You have to trust again, Samitayan, Emma said when I told her. Do I? Why? Because the alternative is being alone forever. Maybe I want to be alone. No, you don't. You're one of the most loving people I know. You deserve to have love in your life again. But what if love always ends like this? What if every person I trust eventually betrays me? What if I'm the problem? Somehow. What if there's something fundamentally unlovable about me that drove Jake into Sarah's arms? Dr. Chen says, that's the trauma talking. Says I'm internalizing their choices as my failures. Says I need to separate what they did from who I am. It's hard, though. It's hard not to look in the mirror and wonder what was wrong with me. Why I wasn't enough. What Sarah gave Hyan that I didn't. I asked Hyan that. Actually, in one of our last conversations before the divorce was finalized, I called Hyan and asked, what did she have that I didn't? He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, it wasn't about what you didn't have. It was about, I don't know, novelty, excitement, the thrill of something forbidden. So you blew up our marriage for a thrill? I know how that sounds. I know how awful that makes me. Do you re-remit it? Another long silence. I re-remit hurting you. I re-remit losing you. But Sarah, I can't re-remit her. Does that make sense? No, I said. It really doesn't. I hung up. I haven't talked to Hyan since. I ran into someone from our friend Ramup last month, Melissa, who'd been at game nights with us, who I thought was my friend too. She was weird and awkward, clearly didn't know what to say to me. I'm sorry about everything, she finally managed. Did you know? I asked. No. God, no. If I'd known, I would have told you. We all would have. But you suspected. She didn't answer, which was answer enough. How many people suspected? I asked. I don't. It's not like we talked about it. But there were moments, looks between them. I don't know. Things that made me wonder but that I explained away. And you never said anything to me. I didn't want to plant seeds of doubt if I was wrong. I didn't want to damage your marriage over a feeling. I wanted to be angry at her, at all of them, but I couldn't. Because I'd had those same feelings, those same moments of wondering, and I'd explained them away too. We were all complicit in our own ignorance, choosing to believe the best because the alternative was too horrible to contemplate. I'm moving next month. Out of the apartment, out of the city, to a small town 3 hours north where I have no history, no memories, no ghosts. I'm starting over. New place, new job, new life. It terrifies me, but it also feels necessary. I can't keep living in the spaces Jake and I created together. I can't keep walking the streets where Sarah and I used to meet for coffee. I need to go somewhere clean. My dad helped me find a place. It's small, a one-bedroom cottage near the lake. It has a garden that's over a mound and needs work, but that's okay. I like the idea of having something to nurture, something to ramo, something that's entirely mine. You're going to be okay, my mom said when I showed her pictures. You think so? I know so. You're stronger than you think. I don't feel strong. I feel broken and betrayed and lost. But maybe that's okay. Maybe you can be all those things and still move forward. Maybe healing isn't about being whole again, but about learning to live with the cracks. I've been writing lately. Nothing fancy, just journaling. But it helps, getting all the thoughts out of my head and onto paper, where I can see them, examine them, let them go. I wrote a letter to Sarah last week. I haven't sent it. I probably never will, but it helped to write it. To say all the things I didn't get to say in that Ramasri store, all the things I've been holding inside. I told her that I missed her, that I missed my friend, the one I thought I knew, that I was Anrami and hurt and betrayed, but also sad. Sad for what we had and what we lost. Sad that she thought what she felt for Jake was worth destroying our friendship. Sad that I'll never trust anyone the way I trusted her again. I also wrote a letter to Jake. That one was shorter. I just told Hyan that I forgave Hyan. Not because he deserved forgiveness, but because I was tired of carrying the anger. Because holding on to it was only hurting me, not Hyan. Because I wanted to let it go and move on. I don't know if I actually do forgive Hyan. But maybe if I write it enough times, it'll become true. Dr. Chen asked me last week what I've learned from all this. That people are capable of terrible things, I said. That love isn't always enough. That you can think you know someone completely and be totally wrong. What else? That I'm stronger than I thought. That I can survive things I thought would destroy me. That I don't need another person to be complete. That's Ramouth, she said. Maybe it is. Or maybe it's just what I tell myself to get through the day. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. The old me died that night on the bathroom floor. This new me is harder, more guarded, less trusting. But maybe that's not all bad. Maybe the old me was too naive, too willing to see the best in everyone, too blind to the possibility that the people she loved could hurt her so deeply. This new me knows better. This new me has armor. This new me won't be so easily destroyed. But this new me is also lonely, and tired, and scared of what the future holds. I miss having someone to come home to. I miss having a best friend to text about nothing and everything. I miss feeling safe in my relationships, feeling secure in love. I don't know if I'll ever have those things again. I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust someone enough to let them in. I don't know if I want to. But I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still moving forward. One day at a time, one breath at a time, one small step at a time. And maybe that's enough for now. It's late now. I'm sitting in my parents' living room, the house quiet around me, writing this all down. Tomorrow I start packing for the move. Tomorrow I start the next chapter of my life. I don't know what that chapter will look like. I don't know if there's happiness waiting for me on the other side of this pain. I don't know if I'll ever love someone again, if I'll ever trust someone again, if I'll ever feel whole again. But I know I'll survive this. Because I've survived everything else. Because I'm still here, still breathing, still trying. To anyone listening to this who's been betrayed by someone they loved, someone they trusted, I see you. I know how much it hurts. I know how it feels like your entire world has ended. But I promise you, it hasn't. You're still here. You're still standing. And that means something. It means you're stronger than what tried to break you. It means you can rebuild. It means there's still a future waiting for you, even if it's not the one you planned. Hold on to that. Hold on to yourself. And please, be kind to yourself through this. You deserve that kindness, even if the people who hurt you didn't give it to you.